Welcome back to week 13 in the Shy Sports Weekly podcast. How we doing, folks? I'm your host, Max. I'm back with the boys. Ty, Kyle, guys.
Back in the saddle.
Back in the saddle again. It's actually been a minute. It's been 2 weeks since our last episode now.
Yeah, I know. What was the delay last week, Maxi Pad?
Just a little out of office on my end. I was on vacation down in Florida. I had a wedding.
Who amongst us?
I was down there for
Florida, a week. We weren't in Florida this past weekend, were you?
No, I was there. I got there the Tuesday before Memorial Day weekend and then stayed till the following Tuesday. Just went down there and completely fucked off and didn't really pay attention to anything.
Who loves the southwest part of Florida more than you?
Probably nobody. Maybe people 55 and up. You could probably talk to some people in that age range and probably them, but
what part of Florida were you in?
I was in Marco Island.
Marco Island, okay.
You ever been there? It's nice this time of year.
To be honest, I have no idea if I've been there or not.
Said Marco Polo.
Yeah, flew into Fort Myers, drove down to Marco.
Is that near Naples?
Yep, just south of Naples.
There we are. Then maybe I have. I've been in Naples. I know that. The only spot I know I've been in Florida, in Orlando.
Just Google that.
Ann's got a spot down there, so I know that. But besides that, yeah, I don't know shit about Florida, but you look tan. Ty, you look pasty. Let's mix in a walk outside every once in a while.
Call me Casper, because your boy is pasty. I actually was outside all weekend.
You look like fucking Howie from Benchwarmers.
I was just about to say, are you like agoraphobic?
Guy sits in that closet behind him and eats sunscreen.
Yeah. Is that what you were just eating? That wasn't ice cream.
It wasn't ice cream. It was paste.
If I could just put sunscreen in a cup and said, please shut up.
Yeah. Dude, I was outside all weekend, no sunscreen, and just, I don't know. This is what it is.
Didn't work.
Where were you? Were you like in Canada?
Why don't you try like tanning oil?
Tanning oil? What is this? Fucking the Jersey Shore, dude? Call me Pauly D.
Well, I mean, when we're as white as a wall, maybe.
White as Waldo, dude. That's why they call me that.
Yeah, the wedding was actually sick. I won't sit here and talk about it. Bore the shit out of everyone.
We could talk about it.
Tell me about the vows.
How drunk did you get?
Drunk. Yep, definitely drunk. It was open bar, obviously, and they had like all top shelf booze, and I probably had, no joke, 15 to 20 Grey Goose and waters. I was motoring. I was humming.
You were motorboating? You motorboating son of a bitch?
Yep. I was on the dance floor. I was mixing it up.
Are you what type of guy are you at a wedding? Are you the type of guy that, you at the end of the night, you're dancing with the tie around your forehead?
I'm getting loose. Not tie around my forehead. Tie came off, though.
Tie
I slowly started undressing as the night went on. I lost the jacket, lost the tie.
How long into the reception do you start losing articles of clothing or loosening articles of clothing?
Here's the thing is we were in Florida, obviously, and it's like 90 degrees. So even in church, I'm just sitting there sweating like a greased pig.
Like a whore.
I was already ready to take my jacket off. But I did keep it on through dinner, and then after dinner, I took it off.
Thank you for your service.
Gentleman that I am. I feel like that's a rule. I feel like you have to leave it on for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, you can't start undressing in church. The priest will get too excited.
I even felt like a scumbag taking off my tie, honestly. But
at the reception?
Well, I mean, I was like a +1 at the wedding, and I had my tie off. I'm holding like a vodka water and just going nuts in the middle of the dance floor.
Jumping up and down the shout.
What's the name of the dance in Borat?
Oh God, I have no idea.
Little copy bull check.
Oh, yeah.
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Now that's I'll tell you what, I think the worst part about weddings is going, I know this is probably gonna sound terrible, but going to the church, because a church is always like 1,000,000 degrees. Literally 1,000,000 degrees. If I ever told you the story, I fainted during my communion.
No, but now sounds like a good time to tell it.
Oh God. I literally. So what do you make? What year do you make your communion? Like, what are you in, second or third grade?
It's like first grade, I think.
Whatever. Yeah. I was a young Kai, just in the second row. and the priest was talking, and I raised my hand, literally was just raising my hand in the middle. I was like, I did not feel well. He's like looking at me like, what the fuck? I'm raising my hand and I'm like dizzy, and I just fucking passed out right on the kid next to me in the front row in front of like a packed church. It was like 95 out. Yeah, just dropped dead.
Wild. Is there a video of that?
And what year that? I don't know, 2002, 2003. I don't know if there was
Scotty didn't have the camcorder.
no, I don't know if my dad knows how to work a camcorder now. Funny.
But yes, the wedding
every
was
time-
like insane. It was at the JW Marriott. I mean, they had like a welcome dinner on Friday night, the church and the wedding on Saturday, and then a brunch on the beach on Sunday. It was
So this was one of Carrie's friends.
yeah, roommate from college. It was extravagant.
Notre Dame, both Notre Dame grads.
Yep, Notre Dame grads.
Wealthy.
Yeah.
I don't. Is the JW Marriott? I'm assuming that's it's a luxurious.
It's basically the nicest hotel down there
Ever.
on the island.
In Marco Island.
Yep. And I was basically just a +1. That was kind of the nice thing is I didn't know anyone else other than Carrie and her sister and then her sister's husband. So I was kind of just like, I don't really have an
There.
obligation to talk to anyone. I can just sit here and drink and eat and dance.
I always feel. I mean, I've actually never. Luckily, I've never actually really had to go to a wedding with Anne where I'm like the +1 and I don't know anyone. What do you do in those situations?
Nothing.
Just get fucked
Drink
up?
a lot.
Yeah, that's
And
why.
just make friends, or
Right, exactly. Well, she had some friends there that she knew from college that I got to know. So it was really just honestly, it was just sitting there catching a bus. This was also like the 5th day of vacation. So at that point, like I needed to drink, otherwise I was gonna be deathly hungover.
did you drink every day?
Yes.
Wow, congrats, man.
Haven't stopped since.
We can see that. Jesus. Wow. And here I am on a 21-day cleanse.
You know why else I'm drinking?
Cubs.
Because the Cubs are in first place in the NL Central. You
Well,
were
let's
great,
talk
too.
about number 13, David Bodie's replacement, Patrick Wisdom. Oh boy.
Thank you for starting off with Patrick Wisdom. I actually had a nice little crack. I was gonna ask if you consider yourself a wise guy.
Yeah. Not a wise guy, but I am a wise guy. Holy fuck.
Nowadays, I'm a wise guy.
This guy is like unbelievable. This is actually crazy. The numbers he's putting up right now. I am at a loss for words. I was reading his stats and just trying to think of what I was going to say to go over Patrick Wisdom. There's no adjectives to describe what he's doing, but it's just spectacular.
It's
It is
insane.
like mind.
Why don't I just read you his numbers in 13 total games? He's hitting 412
please.
with a 444 on base percentage. The slugging percentage is 1,088 with 7 home runs. It's like every other at bat, the guy just hits a home run.
All right, here I got a couple stats here that'll knock your socks off. So in MLB history since 1906, the most homers for anybody in their first 8 starts of a season. Patrick Wisdom is tied for second on that list, and he's only behind Mike Schmidt, who has 8 instead of Wisdom 7. And here's another one. It's most home runs in first 8 career starts with the Cubs since 1906. Patrick Wisdom has the most from any player.
Those are
More
nice little tidbits right there. I thought you were going to
Yeah.
ask me to guess who the guy was that started their career with more home runs in a certain amount of games or whatever, the Mike Schmidt stat.
It's like, it's crazy. It really is. It makes no sense in the world. He's a first round pick from the Cardinals in 2012. Got DFA'd, was with the Rangers. I think I don't know if he was with the Mariners. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if I'm thinking of the right guy, but
I didn't realize he was
with
a
the
first round pick.
yeah, in 2012. And by the way, he is a handsome fucker. Jesus Christ.
You know what?
His teeth are so white they look like Psalm's skin.
He I don't know why I think this. I mean, you might think the same. You might think I'm a complete idiot, but he looks like Matt Merton in the box. Tell me he doesn't have the same stance as Matt Merton.
I'm watching the pregame show right now. Let's see. Oh, he kind of does.
Can you see it a little?
If he dropped the barrel of his bat a little bit more, his
Behind his
bat's
head
at
a
like a
little?
45-degree angle. Yeah, Mertens was a little flatter, but yeah, I could
And
see
then,
that.
but then when he makes contact, it's completely different.
Matt Merton was hitting like 120-foot line drives to right field. This dude's mashing 400-foot dingers to center.
Dead center.
He hit over 2,000 feet of home runs last week.
Holy shit. Keep going, honestly. You got more, keep going.
He's the third player in MLB to hit 7 home runs in the first 8 starts with the team since 1906. That's like crazy. That's what they're showing on the broadcast right now. That's nuts.
So
I mean, that's wild.
If I remember right, wasn't he? Didn't he have some pop in spring training too?
He did. Yeah. He hit I just know the one game I went to in Arizona, he hit a game tying 2-run shot against the Sox off Liam Hendricks.
Yeah.
And then
I think that's what I'm remembering.
In 8 games with Iowa this year, I think he had 3 home runs. So this dude just mashes. Yeah. Here's his stat line: 13 games, 412, 7 homers, 10 RBIs, 1.533 OPS. That's good.
Is he also a guy that wears no undershirt?
Yeah, no undershirts, not even optional. They're just not included.
Because that's like that is a fucking move. If you're gonna be a guy that hits 7 home runs in 13 games, you don't even own any undershirts. I love that.
Yeah, you got to be feeling. Yeah, you can't be. Tony Campana's not wearing no undershirt because he's slapping the ball around. Right. You're Patrick Wisdom. You're showing off that chest hair, that chain, and you're hitting 400-foot dingers with the nipples flying around.
You're damn right. This is exactly what they needed. I mean, obviously, they were in first place or whatever. Or they were, they had a good record and they were winning games, but it just felt like you need a guy to come up and do something like this if you're going to keep the train moving with the roster that they have.
But haven't they had? I mean, I know maybe not on the position player front. The only one I can think of besides Wisdom that's provided a spark from Iowa is Sergio Alcantara.
Yep.
But obviously not to the same extent. But shit, the young arms that they've had have just been absolutely shoving.
I was just going to say they've got some crazy help in the bullpen.
Oh, it's phenomenal. Keegan Thompson and Tommy Nance. We talked about Tommy Nance, right? Last time?
Yeah. Yep.
Does that name ring a bell? Ty, let's test your knowledge. Do you remember who Tommy Nance is?
Yeah, he's one of the relievers for the Cubs.
Where did he play beforehand? Come on.
Oh fuck, dude. I don't know.
Testing with Ty.
Tommy Nance. The Tigers.
No, the Windy City Thunderbolts was what we were looking for.
That's right. Now I remember. See, I
the
thought
Tigers.
Oh, you do. Team. He goes Tommy the Tiger.
Tommy the Tiger.
That says Tony's little brother, dude. Tommy.
Holy fuck. Oh, you're an idiot.
But yes. Like Dan Winkler might be an all-star, honestly.
I know we've talked about this before with Dan Winkler. I can't get myself to like this guy, to like trust this guy in late inning situations with that haircut. Is that can you
get yourself to trust him with his whip and ERA?
No, not because his haircut just bothers me too much. And I just it's like he's in that awkward phase, like when you're growing your hair out, where it's too long to be short, but too short to be long. But it's seemingly just been in that phase for a year plus now.
Yeah.
Where it's just he's stuck in no man's land and looks terrible.
That is for
he looks
at.
great on the mound though. So you know what? You keep shoving it up my hoop, Dan Winkler, with that 0.54 ERA. Go ahead. Do what you want.
He's got gigantic eyes.
What?
I'm looking at pictures of him on Google Images right now.
If you think his eyes are big.
You know what they say about big eyes? Holy
big glasses.
The bigger the eyes, the bigger the glasses. Correct. Yeah, he's from. Oh, I didn't even know this. He's from Effingham, Illinois.
Okay.
Effingham.
Heard of it? No clue where it's at. I think it's by Champaign.
I'm just gonna say it's probably south of 80. I've never heard of it before.
That's a good guess. Saul, where is it? Take a guess.
I'm gonna say south of Joliet for sure. I can tell you that. 100%.
So you just stole my guess because
I'm gonna say
south of 80.
south of Morris, even, dude.
which is again the same guess because Joliet or Morris is
Okay,
just
well,
west
everywhere
of
is
Joliet.
south of 80 if we're gonna be guessing. I
So-
mean, it's
So I'm
obviously
just
south.
naming synonyms for what I said.
Normal Illinois. You know,
It's very
That
far
area.
south. It's closer to St. Louis than it is Chicago.
I know our guy Tony wrote a story last year about Dan Winkler and how his grandma was a big Cubs fan. So now every time we talk about Dan Winkler, we just call him Grandma's boy. That's all I think of when I see Dan Winkler. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I just hate his haircut. I can't
The
trust
thi-
him.
With how well the bullpen is pitching, they need some form of identity. Or like these guys have to be like they got to be walking around with some swagger. They need like a chain, like a bullpen chain or something.
They can't be walking around with a head of hair like that. Thank God they wear hats.
You know who's got? Maybe he could learn a thing or two from Big Daddy Shafeen.
Shafeen, Big Daddy Shafeen. What he's another one. I mean, I don't want to say I can't trust him because of his hair, but he literally looks like Bozo the Clown with that hair. It's awesome. But
I mean, isn't he up there in the MLB?
But he's a lefty. Yeah, he is. I don't know what they are, but so here's my theory. If Dan Winkler was a lefty, I think it would work. But he's a righty, so it doesn't. If you could have shitty hair if you're a lefty, but if you're a righty, you can't.
That is true. That's why I have shitty hair.
Yeah,
That's why you have shitty hair.
Exactly. Like we're lefties. We
You
our
can
standards
you
are
can be
lower.
goofy. You can wear your goofiness.
It's like if you're a lefty or if you're a goalie, then you could have shitty hair. But if you're like a right-handed relief pitcher or if you're like a right winger, you need to have good hair,
Yeah, that's true. You gotta have Patrick Kane lettuce.
which is actually as you brought up the worst example for a head of hair because his hair belongs in like a garbage can. Thank God he wears a helmet too because it is terrible.
There's days where it doesn't look bad though.
Patrick Kane?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I've ever seen his hair ever looking good, but
You wouldn't say that to his face.
I would beat the fuck out of Patrick Kane.
Wow.
I mean,
You heard
come
it
on,
here
that's not.
first.
I mean, but that's. I'm not saying I want to, but that's also not saying much. He's what? Dude, he's my size, maybe. It was he 5'10", 180.
He does have some bad hair, actually.
You should have said Duncan Keith hair.
The funny thing is, I searched Patrick Kane and Duncan Keith came up with his hair.
All right, let's go. Best heads of hair in Chicago sports history. Joakim Noah.
That's tough.
I'll go Joakim Noah 1.
Michael
Duncan
Jordan 2,
Keith.
bald.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's actually spot on.
I mean, that's not a good one.
And then I was gonna say Rizzo's
Jerry
curly
curl.
locks 3. And what'd you say? Ann says Patrick Sharp.
Yeah, Sharpie had good hair.
He's got the most fuckable hair. That's a different category. Hey,
Is that
keep
what
the
you're-
pasta out. I'm
that-
gonna have
Is that a
some.
direct quote from you?
Yeah, via Ann. Via bananas. But yeah, where were we?
Cutler had some good hair.
Oh yeah,
He
did.
came to the Bears with the worst hair, but then
Yeah,
it like evolved over time.
I think Andy Dalton, if his hair wasn't bleach blonde, like bleached red, I think he would have good hair. If he just had normal brown hair, and with that swirl and wave he's got working up front, I think he'd have good hair. But
Do you think Andy Dalton intentionally plays for football teams that have orange in their uniform?
I mean, he played for the Cowboys,
Yeah, but
but that was only because nobody who had orange would sign him.
right, exactly. Doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's something with the color tone that makes him feel like he's
More
feeling himself.
confident.
It's the Deion Sanders theory. You look good, you play good, but that theory's not working well for him.
You look like the mascot. You play good.
You play like the mascot. All right, let's go back to the Cubs because that was enough Andy Dalton talk
Yeah.
for our backup quarterback there.
Let's talk about KB and Javi. Are they both going to be all-stars?
Javi, well, here we'll start with Javi because Chris Bryant's definitely an all-star. Javi, I actually don't think so. I don't think Javi's going to be an all-star. I think there's Trevor.
He's not an all-star. That's just because Brandon Crawford is.
I was going to say there's too many shortstops in the mix ahead of him that are just having just subjective. Or pardon me, objectively. Wait, objectively, is that fact?
Objectively,
yep.
yeah.
Objectively is not opinion. They're having objectively better years than him.
Actually, I stand corrected. Javi is having a better season than Brandon Crawford.
No, I'm just assuming no, because Brandon Crawford just absolutely tore the Cubs apart this weekend. Recency
talk
bias.
About some bad hair. Brandon Crawford, God,
right? Thank you. I was talking about that with people I work with. Yeah, they were like, "Oh, he's got a great head of hair." Listen, just because you have long hair does not mean
it's great.
Good lettuce. Like Jake Marisnick has long hair, not good.
Brandon Crawford's is all stringy and stuff. It's not good. Bryce Harper, good hair.
No. Bryce Harper is a head of hair that every man wishes he had.
Yep.
He has great hair.
Right.
I'm looking at a picture right now.
There was a Greek god of hair. It'd be probably Bryce Harper.
Yeah. Craig Kimbrell, terrible hair. I'm trying to think who else. Javi with his dreads is actually great.
Josh Hader, terrible hair. He looks
terrible
like fucking
hair.
Willie. He looks like Johnny Depp as Willy Wonka.
Jeff Samardzija, good or bad long hair?
Bad.
I'm gonna say bad. I don't think it was good. You need to have it needs to have some fluff. It needs to have some wave.
Got to be wavy. Yep.
You know, if I guess long story short, just point him in the direction of Bryce Harper and Patrick Sharp for good hair.
Tell him you had good long hair.
Yeah, real good. It was an afro. It was the best.
I would actually love to get a picture of that.
Oh, I'll send you a picture. We can post it to the Twitter. We'll let the
So, anyways, Kyle, here's Brandon Crawford's stats. He's hitting .262. He has 12 home runs, 37 RBIs. What's that?
I said those are both better than Javi. Maybe not the home runs aren't, but
not the home runs.
But Javi's making so many errors. He's making all the errors.
Right. Which is very uncharacteristic.
Very un-Almago-ish. Wait, hold on. Before we jump off the Javi topic, we haven't recorded a podcast since that Javi incident in Pittsburgh at first base. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, no, we haven't. Wow. No, we have not.
Jesus Christ. Made me feel like an idiot there. I was like, hold on. We might have to just end the podcast if you don't know what incident I'm talking about. One time for me. We'll go over it quick, but how fucking dumb is that first baseman?
I mean, extremely. But that's the kind of shit that Javi does.
Ty, as the resident Pirates fan here, we'll give you the floor to explain yourself.
The most Pirates bullshit I've ever seen. The first baseman, Will Craig, should be fired. There was 2 outs. You step on the bag. That's baseball fucking 101. Shout out to Javi for thinking on his toes. I would have never done that, but that was the most disgusting display of defense I've ever seen.
I think 90%, 95, maybe even 99% of the league with 2 outs on a play like that, they just accept being tagged and they walk back to the dugout.
What'd you say? 99.9?
Probably something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I would have to agree. Like, in what world are you jumping backwards and getting in a rundown for no reason? And the best part about it was too, he got in the rundown. The guy, Will Craig, actually let the ball go and Javi signals safe. It's like safe.
Yeah, I did. I noticed that.
You still got to run the first. And then what the fuck is the second baseman doing? He's just standing just putzing around watching nothing.
You know what's funny?
Not covering first. It's like, all right, dude, you also don't have the presence of mind to just cover first. You're also an idiot. What the fuck?
With 2 outs, why the fuck are you freaking out about someone trying to steal home? All you have to do is step on the bag and the inning's over. The run doesn't matter. 5 guys can cross home plate. As long as you get the force out at first, the inning is over.
Exactly. Thank you.
And then on top of it, Javi gets to second because of a bad throw first. It was fucking nuts.
It makes absolutely no sense, but can you think of just a single crazier play in baseball than that?
No, I can't.
right? Like I was thinking of, I mean, and the only crazy play that I could think of is like, I don't know, like a Bartman play, but that's completely different. It's not
Yeah, right.
a crazy in the same aspect. It's just more like the circumstances of that situation, where Javi's was just, it's unreal. You want to
Well,
talk
what
about
was
something that's
actually
unreal?
pretty
That was
weird
unreal.
earlier this year, before Bellinger got hurt, he hits a home run over the fence, and I think he passed Justin Turner maybe on the bases, and the home run
Yeah,
didn't count.
I did see that.
Like that
I
was pretty
did see
fucking
that.
weird
Yeah,
too.
yeah, that was fucking, that was weird as shit.
That was just boneheaded too. Obviously not as ridiculous as this play, but of the same category, I guess.
Of the same nature. But yeah. What else we got for the Cubbies?
So I still think Javi has a chance at being an all-star. KB is probably a lock, but I mean, Javi's hitting 240. He's got 14 home runs, 39 RBIs, 32 runs, and 9 steals. Obviously, like you said, he's making the errors, but when you, an all-star game or not, when you take a step back, what do you think the Cubs do with KB, Javi, and Rizzo? Because there's talk now. I saw a quote from Rizzo saying that, you know, he's like, if they want to, they can sign all three of us and keep all three of us 6 to midnight. But what do you think?
Well, are you talking about like at the trade deadline or in the offseason?
No, I'm talking about in the offseason, but I do have a question about the trade deadline for you too.
Here, lay it on. Ask me the trade deadline question first, because that was where I was going to start.
Okay. So at this point, you're in first in the NL Central. You're 7 games over 500. You look like a playoff team. Probably missing a couple pieces. Definitely missing some starting pitching. They're absolutely buyers at the deadline now, right? There's no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, you're tight. So if they win tonight, by the time everybody's listening to this, they'll know that they've won tonight. But if they win tonight against the Padres Monday night, it'll be through 60 games, and they'll have the exact same record after 60 games this year as they did last year. They'll be 34-26, where they won the division. In no circumstance right now, how can you be sellers? Why would you be seller right now? That doesn't make sense. I mean, even if you're, I think they need to get some starting pitching. I think that's the first and foremost thing that they need to do is get starting pitching. Yep. I don't mind having Hendricks, Adbear, and Davies as your 1, 2, 3 going in, but if you need a game 4 starter, I do not feel
bullpen
comfortable
game
with
at that point, honestly.
I love Jake Arrieta. I don't feel comfortable with him. I don't like Trevor Williams.
No. He
good.
reminds me of fucking Jason Hamill at this point.
Why? Just because he has bad hair?
Yep, and both guys.
That's another guy. Long hair, bad hair.
Yes, both bad hair, and Hamill had awful hair actually, and they were at the back end of the rotation, just like did not want them.
At least Jason Hamill during the regular season, like for the first couple months, was nails. He was phenomenal.
That is true. I think the first half of the season he was actually pretty dominant, but then
you knew he was
living on borrowed time.
Yeah, he was, and I don't know what he made. I just know he made 1 start for the Cubs in the playoffs. I know he made 2. He made game 4 of the NLDS in 15, and then game 4 of the NLCS. He's getting his tits rocked each game.
It was funny because anything he did wrong, like he would throw a ball, I'm like, get this motherfucker out of the game.
Yeah, you have always actually hated Jason Hamill.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy, huh?
Back to Alzolay, though. He looks and feels like an ace at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Over the past month, he has a 2.83 ERA, 0.94 whip, and 3 wins through 28 innings.
And he is just like I don't know if you call it an aura or like a swagger. I hate that word. I hate the word swagger.
He's just got a killer mentality.
He does. Watch. Nobody agrees with me on this, but after he throws a pitch and he strikes somebody out, it looks like he's almost like walking towards the mound, and he's like flexing a little bit. Like it looks like he's like subtly like. He's done it his whole career. His whole career he's like, this is his 2nd or 3rd year.
I love that.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm an idiot for saying that or thinking that, but yeah, it looks like he's just walking towards the mound and flexing a bit, which I love. It's like the opposite of Juan Soto when he takes a ball and he's just like low spread eagle rocking around with his balls on the ground. It's just the pitcher version of that.
Kicking dirt at the pitcher.
With Bear. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and I think there was a game after he started, he pitched, and then in the press conference after, he's like, I think we're the best team in the division. Like, young guy, probably one of the youngest guys, if not the youngest guy on the team. And he just has like the leadership mentality, and a quote like that. Like, the guy's ready. The guy's ready for the show.
Yeah. When you're watching a Cubs game and you find out like who's starting, it's got to be him or Hendricks than him for who you're confident and comfortable with.
Yeah. And honestly, at this point, it's a coin toss between the two of them. I think I'm more confident in him right now.
When he was talking about the I think this was after the sweep of the Padres at Wrigley. He said we have the talent to compete and win another World Series for the city. Like,
right.
You hear that? That's 6. Would you say 6 to midnight?
Yes.
Real quick.
I was gonna say my ears perk up, but yeah, 6 to midnight better.
Something else perked up for me. And it was not my ears.
But yeah, so they're buyers at the deadline. They have Alzolay, who would be a really solid number 2 if he keeps this up. What do they do? Obviously, we're not, who knows how the season's going to end, but do you think it's a real possibility that they wind up keeping KB, Javi, and Riz, or do you think Rizzo's just blowing smoke?
I mean, I know the quote you're referring to was was it the Rizzo quote in the Tribune with Paul Sullivan?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Where fuck, I don't hate the move of Rizzo, like kind of publicly calling him out. I mean, like, yo, what the fuck?
Right.
Like, we want to be here, but at the same time, nobody knows what the players are seeking out, and then nobody
it just
really
seems unrealistic that they're going to put $500 million into 3 players.
I don't think that's a good strategy.
No,
to be honest with you, and you see people on Twitter all the time after Chris Bryant makes a play or Rizzo or Javi makes a play. It's like, extend them. It's like, yeah, well, let's not just react. Let's not just be as reactionary as possible. Like, there's other parts of the team that need help too.
Right.
And there was something like, think of it this way. When the Cubs, when they won in 2015, 16, 17, they had all these position players on young, cheap contracts, right? And they spend their money on pitching. And they only had one big, Hayward was their big hitter acquisition.
Right.
Now it's almost like they need to find young, cheap pitching to go along with their expensive hitting.
Right.
I know that probably didn't answer your question, but if anything, I don't think they'll resign all 3. I think maybe 2 of the 3. I would say 2 of the 3. I
mean, I hate to say it, but
I think Chris Bryant's going to
go.
More
Sense for them to keep KB and Happy.
I think I would see, and I think you need KB and Rizzo. I don't think you can. I don't know how they can let KB walk unless it is just like, I'll say a team like I don't know how the Padres could have any more money to spend, but a team like the Padres are like, here, we'll give you like 350.
How about, let's say the Nationals, because the
years.
Nationals seem to keep poaching players from the Cubs. They just step in and they say, we're going to give Chris Bryant $300 million. At that point, then it's like, all right, maybe you tip your cap and let him go.
I mean, yeah, but then it's like, what's the term length on it? And then what are the other players seeking? So yeah, it's God. I think you have to get at least 2 of the 3. Personally, you need 2 of the 3. And I don't know what.
I'm not ready to call you a Javi hater, but you're not saying a lot of nice things about him over the past few episodes here.
What has there been nice to say?
What do you mean?
I mean, give me his average again? 240?
It's in 240, but he leads the team in home runs. He's got 14 home runs. He leads the team in RBIs, 39. He has 9 steals. Obviously, he's been botching a few plays in the field, but
okay, what do you actually think he's worth though? You think he's worth 200 million?
No, he's definitely not worth 200 mil.
What would you
If
say,
you could
Javi?
if you could get him at like, let's say, let me think about this. Saw him get out the calculator.
Got
You
it.
could,
On it.
you could get him at, I don't know, let's say 150, 155 over 5 or 6 years.
30, 25 to 30 a year.
No,
Calculator guy.
That is a tough pill to swallow, but
I think
I
Javi's
mean,
like
the
a 20 million.
guy's on pace to be a 30-20 guy. Obviously, he's not going to keep that up at the back end of the deal, but I just think he
he's
gets.
not going
I
to be good
just think
enough
he
at the front
gets
end to provide the back end support.
right. I don't know. I just think he gets bagged on a little too hard.
Why?
Not necessarily by you, just by fans in general.
You think Javi gets bagged on? I feel like
Yes.
Javi gets nothing.
Well, when you're talking about contract extensions and negotiations, I feel like he's always the first guy to go in people's minds.
I mean, and think you have Nico. I know Nico projects probably more as a second baseman than a shortstop, but you have Nico. You do have Sergio Alcantara, who is a shortstop. But I'm not saying before people start freaking out. Yeah, I know they're not Javi, but Javi hasn't been Javi since 2018, right? Like 2019, he got hurt. 2020 or 2019, I know I think he had 29 home runs. He got hurt towards the end of the year. 2020, he was terrible. This year, not great. 240. And listen, I know the pitching's harder.
I can live with 240.
You look at a guy like Tatis, like he's a better version of Javi.
Right, but I mean, Tatis is like one of the best players in the MLB. I can live with 240 from Javi.
You're going to pay Javi $30 million to be what? That is he even a top 10 shortstop?
No, I'm probably not going to pay him 30 mil.
I mean,
I would say they hopefully give him his 25 a year.
I mean, realistically, like right now, where would you say Javi is in terms of shortstops in the league? Top 10, maybe?
Yeah, he's right on the fringe there.
Okay, I mean, I don't know. This is terrible for this segment, but like, I'm thinking of shortstops. Off the top of my head, Trevor Story, Francisco Lindor,
Story, Tatis.
Tatis, Corey Seager, Brandon Crawford, Tim Anderson. Who else? Xander Bogaerts.
Bogaerts is a fucking animal.
Bo Bichette. Let's see, like Dansby Swanson is. I mean, Trey Turner. There we go. Like
Marcus Semien, but I would take Javi over some of those guys you mentioned.
I wouldn't take Javi over any of those guys. I'm not gonna like. And there's way too much swing and miss in this game. Way too much.
That's true.
What do you have?
Argue that.
He definitely leads the team in strikeouts.
I'm sure he does. That's what today's game is, though. It's strikeouts and home runs.
Yeah, but that's why I like a guy like Matt Duffy. I know not that Matt Duffy's a shortstop or a replacement, but I like what this Cubs team has been kind of more focusing on is they're trying to be more contact oriented because the strikeout is so prevalent that you have 0% chance to reach base if you strike out, right? But if you put the ball in play, there's at least some percent chance that it finds a hole, somebody makes an error. And I know it's probably low, but still, Javi and he has no approach at the plate. Jesus Christ, he's swinging for 10-run home runs every time. And I'm just ripping on Javi right now. And I don't hate Javi by any stretch. I love him, but I'm just not paying him $25 million. And Durant, thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
So you're not even giving him 25 mil. What deal? What would it take for you? What would you want to keep Javi at? Like, what would you say? All right, this is a fair deal. We'll keep Javi at the most.
I'll give you 4 years, 100 mil.
Wow,
Pardon me. 5 years, 100 mil.
They're not going to keep him then.
4 years. I said I'm not giving him 25 mil a year. First deal I suggest is 25 mil on this.
That's why I was saying, wow, I was getting ready to shove it right back down your throat.
I'm at 5 years, 100 mil.
Like you are with those noodles or whatever that is you're eating right now.
I know. I haven't eaten dinner yet.
Just a mouthful of food.
All right, time out. Let's cut it right there. I got to piss.
Just a mouthful.
Should we switch to the Sox now? It's 8:35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. We were flowing.
Yeah.
No cuts so far.
No cuts. I got a piss too. I'm glad actually that he stopped it.
No cuts, no butts, no coconuts.
Where'd he go?
He pissed too.
So are we hard stopping at 9?
Yeah.
All right, then let's do the Sox for 15 minutes and then finish with like 10 minutes of last dance.
There we go.
Should we start without him?
I don't know if he needs to do anything, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't either.
We're fine.
Oh, did you post that thing on Marquee that was it was the video of Chris Bryant hitting the home run? It's like, would you throw this pitch to this guy or whatever?
Yeah, that was me.
That was pretty cool.
Like zooming in,
Yeah. Should do more of those.
like breakdowns like that.
Yeah.
Wait, did you see me on? I mean, I know I texted you guys, but did you actually see me on the fucking broadcast?
Well, I saw the screenshot that you sent, but I didn't watch the game.
I'm like boys with Boog now. I have his
Really?
number. Yeah.
Shut up. So do you talk to him all the time or not really?
Whenever I'm at the park, I'll see if I can find it. So
No shit. What does he say?
I don't know if you can see.
Like, what do you say to him? You're texting him about
You
what?
see,
Thanks, pal.
yeah, it's funny. I was in there just getting video, and so I went into the booth beforehand to get a picture,
Yeah.
just to like make sure everything was good. And he's like, "Yeah, I don't give a fuck. You could be on my shoulders for all I care. As long just get whatever content you need." I'm
He
like,
said, I
okay.
don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he's just dropping F-bombs. He's like, "I'm vexed. I don't care." I'm like, "Oh, I just didn't want to like fuck you up while you're singing the stretch in front of like 25,000."
That's crazy. Did you wind up buying tickets to that Sox game?
I'm talking to the guy tomorrow. Who's off today?
Yeah, you should definitely try and go. I can't believe you can't get a discounted tickets for working at Marquee.
I think we do. We get free tickets, but I think we get like up to $1,000 of free tickets a year.
Oh, okay.
But tickets are going to be so expensive this year. It's like one game.
Yeah.
You get like 5 tickets.
Yeah. Depending on where you sit, for sure. At that point, you might as well just get like 3 tickets or 4 tickets, maybe 2 in the 1914 club.
Only seats that we can't get is those.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, Tom, you ready?
Yeah. Where are you picking it up?
You're going White Sox.
Yeah.
Yeah,
rolling White
Kyle,
Sox.
you want me to pick it up and say, all right, so Kyle thinks that Cubs are going to land on KB and Riz.
Yeah.
And then I'll say we'll switch over to the Sox.
Sweet. We got 20 minutes, so
Okay. 3, me. All right, yeah. So it sounds like Kyle thinks we're going to land on keeping Brizzo for after the season and beyond, which I'm okay with. Like, you name any of those 3 guys and you tell me we're keeping 2 of them, I'm good with that. But yeah, let's why don't we switch over to the White Sox? Any objections?
No, I thought you were going to keep talking. Let's fucking go.
All in favor?
Say aye. Aye. Let's go, Sox.
All right.
All right. First, let's talk about those City Connect jerseys. Did you like the Sox?
That's exactly what I want to talk about. Honestly, not really, to be honest. I didn't think they looked that great.
Really? You might be the first person I've heard say that they did not like the City Connect jerseys.
I just thought they looked kind of cheesy. Like, I think they could have done a better job. I didn't think the design was bad. It just, they looked like they were screen printed on and shit.
I like them. Did you see the picture of Tony La Russa, though? With
Yes.
his, like, how do you do, fellow kids?
With the sideways hat. Literally more sideways than a Pedro Strop hat.
Oh, it was awesome. Legitimately awesome. Did you, and then I'm assuming you saw the leaked version of the Cubs ones?
Yes. And those looked even shittier.
But it's, it's stupid, but I feel like you need to see the pants to have like, if the pants look good and like the hats look good, I feel like there's more to it. There's got to be more to it. You know what I mean? I need the whole ensemble before I can make a rash decision.
You could work with it, but like, think about it this way. Are you ever going to buy that jersey? No.
One that says Wrigleyville? No. But am I going to buy one that says Southside? No.
Well, obviously, you're not a Sox fan.
Okay. Like what would they have to put on that City Connect jersey for you to buy either one? Hey, we start talking about the Sox and we just go right back to the Cubs.
What's funny is I was just gonna say what's like the players weekend jerseys in the MLB. Those are cool. Like where the back of Javi's jersey says El Mago.
Yeah, I like those, but I still wouldn't buy any of those.
I would buy the El Mago one. That one's sweet. But apparently you think the Cubs aren't going to keep Bobby. Anyways, back to the Sox.
Don't buy that one.
So it seems like nothing can slow the White Sox down. Injuries, like they lose two of their best young talents. Like they've had plenty of guys that have been on and off the injured list. Lance Lynn. Now Kopech is on the 10-day IL. La Russa making the bullshit comments to the media about Yerman tagging Williams, the studio or whatever, his pitch for a home run on a 3-0 count. Literally nothing can stop them from winning. They're 13 games over, 4 games ahead, I think, of the Indians in the Central. It's like they're a team of fucking destiny.
Kind of trash. Ooh, are you dropping the big D on them?
I am. Is it too soon?
To drop a team of destiny? Yeah, it's June 7th.
Okay. So it's June 7th and I dropped the big D. We'll see what happens.
I mean, when did you think the Cubs were a team of destiny? We'll relate everything back to the Cubs.
When I was born.
Seriously, in 2016, when did you think they were a team of destiny? Like, when did you know that they were? That
think about it this way: like,
chance?
Like Schwarber gets his knee absolutely blown out early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't matter. Didn't stop them. I'm sure there were other things that happened throughout the year where it was just like, all right, they're fucked. But then one way or the other, they just kept bouncing back.
I think to me, it was July 31st, the Pedro Strop in left field, Travis Wood in left field, John Lester walk-off bunt game.
Yes. Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think if things like this keep happening with the White Sox and they just keep motoring through the season, I'll be even more confident in spelling out the full word destiny and slapping it on their jerseys.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to give them the big D yet, but I'll tell you what, they definitely look good. Lance Lynn, they're just their whole rotation is, and I'll tell you what, I think Dylan Cease is going to be more of a what the fuck, why did we trade him than Eloy will be in the Quintana deal.
He's a strikeout machine.
Oh my God, this dude does not strike people out.
Does not strike people out. Not.
Yeah, double fourth negative.
Last night, 7 innings, 10 Ks, 0 runs. That's his second 10K outing out of his last 3.
Yep, that's good.
That's great. And they don't even they have fucking Lance Lynn, he's got a 1.23 ERA.
Who's married to a North Central grad.
Don't forget it. Don't you ever forget it. He's got
Never.
7 wins. They got Rodon, 1.98 ERA, 5 wins. And this is in the American League with a DH. These guys both have sub 2 ERAs.
The Rodon thing is just baffling to me too, because he was non-tender last year. He was free. The Sox were like, yeah, we don't actually want you, and then nobody else wanted him. So the Sox were like, you know what, maybe we'll just sign you. Hopefully you catch lightning in a bottle.
Destiny.
Perfect.
You're my destiny.
I hope that comes through on the
It did.
on the stream.
It did. Destiny. It sounded great. You're really hammering. You're really giving the Sox the big D right now. Which
And
is,
over the past month, Giolito 3 ERA with a .97 WHIP, 46 Ks and 4 wins through 39 innings. Like you get him on the right track, and Giolito, Lynn, Rodon 1, 2, 3. That's like, I mean, come on.
and then throw Cease in there for. I mean, who is in the AL? I would not to say anybody can't beat them, but I'm feel very comfortable putting that up against any other team in a best of 5 or best of 7.
Any team without a doubt.
I know we're definitely not Sox fans, but
The Rays have been really solid.
I would not be surprised if the Sox make a run towards the at least at bare minimum the AL pennant.
We're gonna track this. So June 7th, episode 13. This is when I dropped the destiny word on the White Sox. We'll see when you're ready for that.
I'm right there with you. I think I will predict that the Sox are gonna at least win. I will say at least win.
You're about to say the pennant?
I was, but at least one playoff series. I was going to say the pennant, but then I was like, you know what? You just said they're a team of destiny. I feel like if you make the World Series, it's kind of you're like already the team of destiny. So
team of destiny has to win it all in my book.
Yeah, no, I would agree. But I'm gonna say that they are going to win at least one playoff series. They're gonna make it to the LCS. But I really do think that they're gonna make it to the World Series.
So they're like following a similar path to the Cubs when they made it to the NLCS in 15, got swept by the Mets, and then bada bing, bada boom, they win the fucking
Mr.
World
305,
Series the next year.
I agree. And then the Yerminator's got his nickname tattooed into his scalp. Or with his haircut, it looks phenomenal.
Seems like he was the only one that was actually dude, Moncada is ridiculous. Right now he's hitting 294 with a 424 on base percentage.
I have to say, when the Cubs play the Sox, everybody loves it. Those are my least favorite games of the year. I hate it.
Why?
The Cubs playing. I don't know. It's just like it's almost for the Cubs. It's always just like a lose. It's like, you lose. It's like, oh, the Sox fans are just dipping their balls in my mouth. And if you win, it's like, oh, dude, fuck you. You're not even a real fan.
Well, no, it's been lose the past few years, because it's like, even if the Cubs sweep them or win, it's like, well, the Cubs
you're
are
supposed to win.
Yeah. And then the Sox.
It's honestly better when you're the shittier team, because then it's like, oh, whatever. I don't give a shit.
Right. It is.
Or we're supposed to lose. Yeah. But the Sox have been like that seemingly for the past, I don't know. When was the last time the Sox were actually, besides last year, projected to be really good?
I couldn't tell you, honestly.
06, 07, maybe 08, but besides that, like, no.
09?
Yeah. 10? Just names every year until this year.
Glad I just got 4 tickets, 4 bleacher tickets to the Cubs Sox game on August 8th then at Wrigley.
Quick, what Cubs player's birthday is August 8th?
Anthony Rizzo.
That was for Ty, actually, but I forgot to mention that was for Ty.
What
I was gonna guess him or one of the other two schmoes.
Which are your favorite Shy Sports Weekly podcast members' birthdays that day?
It's hard to say. I can't really pinpoint it.
Well, since we already discovered that you two have May birthdays.
No, of course it's Kyle. I know yours is May 6th, because in college it always went, or no, you're May 4th. I'm sorry. It always went your birthday and then Cinco de Mayo and then Van Dyke's birthday. And it was just the perfect 3-day bender every year.
That is correct. You were worrying me for a second. I was like, do you really not fucking know which of the three of us have birthday in August?
Kyle's the young gun, dude.
He is.
I am, thank God. In college, that sucked, but now it's a blessing.
Nice.
27, I'm going to be. That's not great.
No, it's
well, we're getting long here, and I got a hard out in about 10 minutes. So I got a hard on in 10 minutes. Well, both actually, it's gonna be a hard out to get a hard on in 10 minutes. So we want to dive into Last Dance or ice cream?
Ooh, let's start with ice cream.
You want to start with ice cream and then go back to the Last Dance?
I do.
All right. So we're
We don't have
what-
time. We can catch up on the Last Dance next week. We can't.
I don't
wait.
think we're gonna have time. We're gonna end with ice cream here. This is gonna be contentious.
Look at Psalm. He's got a shit ass grin on his face.
In a notebook filled to the brim.
Just
With,
a notebook filled with ice cream flavors.
he's just got he's just got a notebook with ice cream all over it.
Sampling flavors.
All right, these are legit. We were talking about this before we started recording, and we should have just recorded that because that was that was a heated discussion.
That was comedy.
All right, so when you're, I can't stop fucking laughing at this.
I know. Jesus Christ.
It's like
Do
stupid.
I need to say it?
Yes, please.
Okay. So it's mid-July, maybe the weekend after the 4th, and you're sweating. It's just hot in Chicago or whatever suburb you live in. And it's a Saturday and you're just hanging out outside, doing whatever with the fam, friends.
But how old are you in this scenario?
Let's say
Doesn't matter. The answer is always the same.
it really doesn't matter because you're never too old for ice cream. But let's say you're 10 or 11. Just got done playing a pickup wiffle ball game with your buddies. You just pretended you were Anthony Rizzo. Hit a couple bombs, and you hear the ice cream truck song coming around the corner. Where does your mind go to first? Like, what is your immediate choice for the ice cream truck when it pulls up? I was about to say I'll defer this to Psalm first because he is just ready to go.
Well, believe it or not, this is something that I think about quite often for no reason at all. I'll lay awake in my bed at night and just think
for whatever reason. I believe it.
Yeah. Oh, you should because it's real. I just
Maybe
lay
reason
awake.
number one is you were shoveling ice cream in your mouth right before this podcast.
Shout out Andy's, no free shout outs. But I mean, I'm always just, going over my list of favorite ice cream truck ice creams in my head, make sure I got it down pat, for instances like this. So number one, the obvious, the cookie sandwich, the delicious cookies, the ice cream in the middle. It's a classic.
What's in the middle though? Is it just vanilla or is it cookie
Just
dough? Or
vanilla
are you
ice
saying like
cream.
Oreo? Is it so you're saying generic ice cream sandwich number one?
Yeah. From an ice cream truck. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Number one.
Okay. No fixings. on it.
Number
Okay.
two, the strawberry shortcake ice cream bar. The good
Oh, you
humor.
Why the fuck did
Piece
we
of
let
shit.
Psalm go first? Of course, he's gonna name all the best ones. Those were literally my top two.
Oh, hold on. We should have done like a snake
The
here.
snake. Yeah. Maybe we should snake the last ones.
Yeah, right
you-
after you knocked off
No,
the
well,
two heavy hitters.
All right. Well, just finish it because
Yeah, I'll just- I never
now
finish, but
he's
I'll
just on
finish.
a roll.
Now we're anchored.
The number three, the Choco Taco. It's a classic.
I was not gonna pick that.
I figured as much. I love
What's
a good
the
Choco Taco.
Taco?
It's a taco with ice cream and chocolate in it.
I've
It is
never
pretty
even
cool looking.
I've never even heard
You've
of it.
never had a Choco Taco? You're crazy.
Yep, and then it's like smothered in like there's like a
Nuts.
chocolate drizzle and nuts on there.
Which
Oh,
is how
wow.
I love all my food, just smothered in nuts.
Oh, okay. Psalm's horny.
Oh,
All right.
All
No,
right,
this
Kyle,
does.
go ahead.
I'll say though, this does look pretty good. I will
Delicious.
give you that. So can I use ones that Psalm had or no?
Sure. I
Of
have.
course. It's your
I'm-
list.
I'm
your
gonna get a
favorite.
little creative. I'm thinking outside the box a little.
Okay. I'll go. I was gonna say strawberry shortcake number one because I think a strawberry shortcake is just to die for.
You know what's funny is
Literally
that
to
was
die
my
for.
number one choice, and in my head, I'm like, they're gonna give me shit for picking that number one. I thought you guys weren't gonna be on the strawberry shortcake train.
Strawberry shortcake, especially in the exact scenario that you laid out, a Saturday afternoon after watching Rizzo hit a couple dingers. There's nothing I'm craving more than a strawberry shortcake. I don't know why. I'm craving one right now.
Might
I'll
go
say a
pick up a
strawberry
box after
shortcake
this.
number one. A strawberry shortcake? Yeah, you should. Number two was, I was debating number two. I really was. This is old school. I'm going straight push pop.
Okay.
Straight push pop.
I respect the fucking hell out of that decision right there.
And I'll even go more in
It's
depth.
getting
I'll
fired
go.
up.
I will go.
Taking notes.
I-
Well, yeah, I take notes every week though. Come on.
So so every week
He's
Psalm's
making his
taking notes.
grocery list.
So he's just drawing circles.
It's just doodles.
I'm going push pops, and I'm gonna even go a specific flavor. I'm going orange flavored push pops, because holy shit, I'm gonna go orange and then fruit punch flavored. Those two. I'll go 1 and 2, 1 and 1A. So that's my second one. And then my third one, you guys are gonna give me shit for it, but just hear me out. Just a traditional snow cone, shaved ice snow cone with the flavored syrup. Holy hell! You're telling, it's like getting like the, what is it? The ice, the shaved ice. I don't even know what it's called. You know what I'm talking
Italian
about.
ice, basically.
Italian ice. There we go. Thank you. Shout out, Ann. But yes,
I had 3 honorable mentions, and you just named 2 of them with the push pop and the
Psalm had 15 honorable mentions.
He's gonna put that in the notes. We're not gonna talk about him.
All right, Max, go quick. Give us your 3, and then Psalm. I want you to list off every different type of ice cream that you've ever had, that you can remember.
You got 5 hours, bro.
All right, I'm glad you mentioned the snow cone. It needed to be mentioned. It's an all-time classic. Definitely not on my list, but it needed to be brought up. My number one, like you guys have already mentioned twice, the strawberry shortcake. Huge fan. We don't need to say any more about that. It's the king. It's the ice cream truck king. Number 2, I was going to go with the ice cream cookie sandwich too. But as a spin-off to that, like if you had the M&M ice cream sandwiches from like Jewel or whatever in the frozen ice cream section,
Those are
fucking
good.
phenomenal.
See, that's the more intense version of Psalm's generic ice cream sandwich number 1. You put a little M&M in there, maybe a little chocolate chip.
Right.
Bada bing. Psalm
And
just likes
then-
it. Psalm just goes straight for meat and potatoes type of guy.
To keep rolling off that for a second, how about a Snickers ice cream bar? Because that might
So
be
that's
like
just a different version of number 2.
no. A Snickers
No,
ice
no,
cream
no.
bar is literally a Snickers, but it just has ice cream in it. And yeah,
Okay.
it's
It's
cold.
life changing.
First of all, you
Okay.
need to have one if you never have.
I
And
don't know
then
if-
last
I
but
don't know
not
if I have.
least, I will round it out with I have a couple honorable mentions, but a power hitter that needed to be mentioned was the creamsicle. The orange creamsicle. I don't know how you guys left that one out, but that is definitely in my top.
Classic.
You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Those were phenomenal. Oh, yeah. Those were phenomenal choices, actually. Everyone, here, round of applause here. Jesus Christ. That was
Yeah,
phenomenal.
the baseball mitt with the gumball in the middle, my other honorable mention.
Yeah,
All
or
right,
SpongeBob with the gumball eyes.
Yep, that was one we were debating heavily beforehand.
Yep.
Well, not even debating, just revving over. So quickly list every type of ice cream that you've had before.
So last one before
Ever?
you riff, the
This is literally
the
impossible.
firecracker, the red, white, and blue. flavor.
Yes. Yeah. A
We'll go
classic.
We'll go specifically from I shouldn't say specifically from from an ice cream truck, but if you try to stick to an ice cream truck, but if not, just go nuts on ice cream right now.
And we're gonna
You're-
fade out the
literally-
show just like that.
It's
Yeah,
literally
this is-
all of them. I'll just fade it out as I go here. My mic will fade out and we'll go into the abyss. Ready? It's chocolate chip. It's vanilla, cookie dough. It's cookies and cream. It's Oreo. It's a riff. Coffee. We're going Superman. We're going super chunky monkey. We're going Moose Tracks. We're going
Are these
all
sex
the way
positions or ice
down.
creams?